you. It's good to be here. The world is ready for a super app. We're talking about one app that doesn't clutter your phone, that doesn't face deletion, an app that gives you full functionality based on who you are, where you are, time of day, and the things that you find most interesting. We're talking about an app that doesn't keep app managers up all night long wondering how many deletions their company's app is facing that night or the next day. An app that small businesses can afford, that business professionals can use to connect better in a more relevant way with their consumers, yet powerful enough so that the largest enterprises can do things that are almost unimaginable with an app today. That super app is called Bubandu. My name's Randy Aslan. I'm the CEO and president of Bubandu. I've been in the technology space for just over 20 years, started in analog wireless in the mid-90s, data center, fiber, telecommunications, network, software as a service. With Bubandu, an end user simply points their device at an item of interest, and then an app or an experience pops up on the device, almost as if out of thin air. And the app content can vary. It can be a simple app menu with functions behind it, or it can be rich media, streaming media, multimedia, or highly complex, like augmented reality experiences, or even augmented reality games. In fact, for those that are more technical, we can send Unity asset bundles that are executable right over the network into the device. It will load into the device and execute like if the app was always in the device, much like we have right here. Dippin' Dots is one of our customers. They launched with us nationwide, fourth quarter 2014, in 152 stores nationwide. Now 6 months later, they're putting us in 352 stores, and right now, an augmented reality experience of making it rain Dippin' Dots is what's showing on the device. So how does this work? Your typical app is a small piece of software that's loaded on your device, and it resides on the device. So for the most part, all of its functionality is determined by how powerful that little device is. So you're limited by that device's memory, and its storage, and its processing. Okay? So all of your functionality and all of your app management is based on what does Rev 1 do, what does Rev 2 do, what does Rev 3 do. Bubandu doesn't work that way. Bubandu leverages the power of the cloud, the unlimited power of storage, processing, combined with the mobile device to create very, very powerful experiences. And because the device is always tethered with the cloud, those experiences are interactive and can change based on what you're doing or where you happen to be. An example would be, Dippin' Dots uses us for a loyalty program today. Dippin' Dots has locations in shopping malls, they have them in stadiums and at festivals. At some of these locations, they're using a cash drawer. So there was no point of sale system that they could combine for loyalty. So with Bubandu, basically somebody orders a Dippin' Dots product and looks at it with the device. We recognize what that product is and we reward them right there on the device in real time. All of the redemption is on the device in real time. Thank you very much.
So what are you reading, QR code, or
you're actually reading some element of the image itself, the product?
Great question. We can read, if the image is recognizable and has enough unique characteristics, we can actually read the item itself. But we can read any graphic, QR code, barcode, logo, any label that's unique, our system can recognize and then do a data dip on the cloud and then return a response in real time.
So I have a couple of questions. How did you find your first customer? And who makes the buying decision? So this is B2B, you're selling to, I guess, a chief marketing officer or a head of marketing.
Yes.
So who's making the buying decision? What's their value proposition? What would they pay for this? I'm a big believer in cash is king. I learned the hard way.
Okay,
so
very good.
My question.
Yeah, sure, excellent. So with Dippin' Dots, I had a relationship with Dippin' Dots because I was associated with a company that developed a food packaging system for them. And my background in technology had shown me that there were some needs in the food service space to better connect people, especially under 24, with all of these different brands. So as I spoke to Dippin' Dots and learned about their needs, they'd explained that they weren't very good at developing apps and they wanted to find a different strategy. So our thought was, by using augmented reality, by using a platform by using a universal app that anybody could download free of charge, we can open up an entire world of interactivity to young people and give them some incredible analytics based on where those folks were scanning things or playing games. So for example, a Dippin' Dots container at a mall could create a different response than the Dippin' Dots container when taken home. So now we can take Dippin' Dots from the mall into that consumer's home for the first time. That was a very powerful proposition. The decision makers on this were all C-level decision makers, in which I was in meetings with them for several months, and they pay us 6 figures annually for the contract. We're going into our second year of the contract. So it's free of charge for the consumers to download Bubandu, and our revenue model is that the folks that are in our platform actually pay us for those services.
So in addition to the stores or the business that needs to be on one end of this, you need to have people sign up for it.
Right.
So how many people do you already have signed up to use this app?
Okay, so Dippin' Dots actually is responsible for their own marketing. Like with any app, they market their app and they market and promote. So right now they have several hundred people that lined up initially when they first launched, and then in the November-December timeframe, they ran a contest where they were able to actually double their enrollment within a 30-day period. So it was at that point that Dippin' Dots realized that their marketing and their promotions capability had a direct reflection on the response they were getting on folks downloading Bubandu, which was great for us because it took the pressure off of us having to bring them eyeballs. See, the temptation when you have a company like us is for people to ask, well, how many eyeballs do you bring? But at the end of the day, we want them marketing and using us as a tool. And so really, we're an asset to them, and we're not marketing to bring them eyeballs just yet.
10 seconds. Thank you, sorry. How do you preserve the customer experience from one client to the next? So I may love the Dippin' Dots, think it's fantastic, but then I try it at Dunkin' Donuts and I'm not feeling the same vibe there.
Yeah.
Am I likely to then open it up again at a third experience, hoping that it's as good as the others? And I guess the main point there is, are you a design agency at that point, or are you an app developer?
You know, it's a great question. We did not intend on being a design agency. We intended really on being a tool on the back end. But what we found with Dippin' Dots is they had never seen a platform like this. So they couldn't wrap their mind around all of the ways to use it. So what we did was we partnered with the Silicon Valley firm that did the work on the augmented reality side that had a huge gaming engine, okay, just sets of games. And so they actually brought value added to Dippin' Dots. What we realized at that point was that we needed to connect with brands and companies that had some sort of direction with their marketing that we could fill the gaps so that we didn't have to provide full agency services. So right now, consumer packaged goods is one of those. If you think about it, General Mills doesn't know that who buys Cheerios. Kroger and Smith's does, but General Mills doesn't. With Bubandu, somebody can look at a Cheerios box and for the first time, General Mills is connected in that home. And now they can get consumer insights. They've never even had that capability before.
So does the CMO have some kind of dashboard where we can see the results of the campaign?
So the CMO can get all of the reporting they would like, and we
Sorry,
also.
no more questions.
Okay, great. And
Thank you.
just to wrap it up, what we do is we allow seats in the network or in the platform for marketing folks so they can actually determine what all these experiences look like and they can control them themselves.
Thank you, Randy.